Welcome to Luxury in Black, where Black creativity meets luxury, culture, and conversation. I'm your host, Shari Tisdale, and each week we'll spotlight the boldest voices in fashion, design, and entrepreneurship. From local legends to global trailblazers, this is more than a podcast. It's a movement. It's about elevating Black excellence, one story at a time. Join us each Thursday at 12 p.m. on Podbean.com and all streaming platforms. Let's get into it. Welcome to Luxury in Black. I am your host, Shari Tisdale, and we are so excited to chat with you today. I first want to say Happy Easter. I hope everyone has a blessed holiday. And for those who have been commemorating the Holy Week as we lead up to one of the greatest periods in our life, trend really happens beginning on Friday, tomorrow, Good Friday, leading into Resurrection Sunday. Well, I want to say first, thank you if this is your first time tuning in to Luxury in Black. And if you're not aware of what we do here, we are a dedicated platform designed to amplify the voices and celebrate Black designers and creators and promote Black excellence in our everyday living. Our goal is to keep a continuous conversation going on what living in Black luxury, what that looks like. And I am so excited we have as our guest today just an absolutely powerhouse phenomenon. Dr. Tangi Brewer will be joining us here shortly. I cannot wait for you to hear her story and just be electrified by her energy and everything that she brings to the table. She is truly a phenomenon. We've been, as I talked continuously on the importance of legacy, knowing where you come from in order to really know where you're going. And we have a section that we call In Review. And each week we highlight a different pioneer who was transcending and trailblazing in our early years, showing the contributions that we as a people have been contributing to the fashion industry as a whole for a long, long time, for decades. And one that I really want to talk about today that we recently are talking about this week is Zelda Wynne Valdez. And she is truly a powerhouse in the fashion industry. And what's so, I guess, triggering in some ways for me when we go back and you're doing research, how so many of our great pioneers and trailblazers were just contributions were overlooked, left behind, swept under the rug. You know, so many different reasons why recognition was not truly acknowledged. And she was one of those, and she was back in the 1940s. And in this particular period in time, you know, racism was very prevalent. And so being in the forefront and leading was not something that was really happening for us, but she was truly one that was motivated and a trailblazer that knew who she was, what she wanted to do, and she set out and she did it. And was one that opened in 1940. She opened her own boutique, and she had built a clientele where she was designing for the elite clients of African Americans, such as Josephine Baker, Carmen Miranda, Dorothy, Dandridge, just to name a few. And her ability and what she was known for was being able to accentuate a woman's curves. She really understood the body and how to make women feel extremely beautiful and look totally amazing. And she would use fabrics that her technique was very strong in draping. And she was known for her luxurious, bold, and style, and which gave a strong sense of confidence and impeccable style that women really, really flocked through. Now, she was noted in 1948, stating that her biggest breakthrough in designing came when she designed the iconic Playboy bunny costume. She collaborated with Hugh Hefner, who was looking for a stylish and flattering costume for his waitresses, and he hadn't found anything that he found suitable or that he really liked until he met Zelda Wynne Valdez, and they came up with the ultimate design. And in that, it still has been debates where you can do some research who are going to kind of dispel her influence on designing that particular costume, and where there are those who still to this day don't want to give her credit. But she was a Black designer that was very predominant. She had great prestige. She opened up her boutique in New York, on which is now in the Broadway district. She was known. She was right in the really the nick of things. She designed for Dorothy Dandridge in the film Carmen Jones. She did the designs for that particular movie. So she was truly one that was blazing a trail long before it was ever popular, and certainly opened doors that we should just truly commend. She is certainly one to be commemorated because she was totally in the mainstream. And I want to leave with that, with her being such a visionary and pioneer and trailblazer, all three, absolutely. And she was known for challenging the barriers in the industry. And one that I do want to note, because she was not allowed to participate in, during that period, she wasn't allowed to participate in the National Association of Fashion and National Associate Fashion and Designer Association due to her race. So what she did was that she created her own, the National Association of Fashion and Accessory Designers, for people of all ethnic groups to be able to showcase and promote their work, which forged a path for future diversity. So she is certainly one that is highly noted in the industry, and particularly with Black fashion designers alone really held her stride, in which she persevered and the doors she opened that really broke down a lot of barriers for future and the upcoming and still moving forward fashion designers in the industry. So we want to really give a strong salute and applause to Miss Valdez, because she truly is an epitome and one that should be highly recognized for her contributions in the fashion industry. And then want to talk a little bit about, before we bring in our guest, we've got hot tips of what's going on in the industry. And I've talked a lot about the past couple of weeks, and one that is still gaining on emerging Black designers, gaining total rage and attention, is Joseph McRae. As I stated before, he's definitely known for his non-binary collections. He made such a strong, huge presence during New York Fashion Week this year, during the spring and summer, and has been on the rise and is still on the tip of everybody's tongues, and all of the pages and saluting and talking about who's hot, what's hot. You're constantly seeing his name on the horizon. And of course, he's sitting right there with him. Again, it's Laquan Smith, who his sultry pieces have been, as I said, the total rage particularly during all of the award shows and red carpet moments, you're seeing many celebrities are really rocking what Laquan Smith is bringing to the table, which is absolutely outstanding. One that we are super excited about and is a cultural milestone as we're getting ready for the Met Gala, which, you know, is one of the fashion industry's hottest the hottest event of the year. And we are excited that this year's theme is called Superfine, Tailoring Black Style. And will be celebrating the rich history and influence of Black dandyism in fashion, primarily with our men. And it is going to be revolutionary. You are seeing it's going to be curated by Monica Miller and styled by Law Roach, who is impeccable. We'll be featuring prominent figures such as Spike Lee, Janelle Monáe, Dapper Dan, but you have been hearing A$AP Rocky is one of the mainly. Coleman Domingo is certainly going to be one. So take a look at what's going to be happening on all of the fashion pages coming out with Vogue's May issue, was going to be featuring prominent Black African-American men and women, really showcasing the style and expertise that was totally the rage and really set a standard. And it's going to be exciting to see what this year Met Gala is going to bring to the table. Well, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. And when we do, we will be talking with our phenomenal guest. I'm so excited to have Dr. Tangi Brewer with us. She is going to be giving us all of the tips on how to live a life of transformation from body, mind, spirit, soul, and of course with style. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. At Rubicon, we believe every meal should be an experience. Nestled in the heart of North Tulsa, we bring you bold flavors, locally sourced ingredients, and a dining atmosphere like no other. From our signature dishes to expert crafted cocktails, every bite tells a story, perfect for any occasion. Live music on Thursdays with house band Upscale Smoke. Rubicon is not just another smokehouse, it's a whole vibe. Join us at Rubicon, where taste meets tradition. Rubicon Restaurant, the Upscale Smoke experience.
I am doing wonderful. How are you on this lovely day?
I'm doing well, getting ready. Easter is a big weekend for you as well.
Yes. Can you believe it's already here? It's great though. Yes. Getting ready for that. That's yes. It just seems like sometimes when you're in the midst of the week, you sort of forget that it's right around the corner sometimes. So I'm getting ready to do it's changed from the big reveal, but it's June 7th. It's called Step Into the Rise. So.
Okay. Now, do you still do a lot of interpretive dance as you did?
You know what? I don't do a lot of it unless I'm asked specifically by certain places. So I have been asked to do it, but it isn't something that personally is it's the main focus because it does require a lot of time.
Which you don't seem to have. You are extremely busy.
Well, I just say intentional. It's not like busy, but may appear that way, but it is, I feel like I've been able to include a balance. How about you? I love what you're doing. It's great. Shari.
Well, thank you. So glad that we were able to act and certainly have you as a guest because you certainly epitomize life transformation and you fitness and style and how you merge those two together. You've done that for a long time when you were here and left us. We hated to leave. You leave and then move to Chicago. You have been taking Chicago by storm.
Well, thank you. It is nice to be here. And I do miss my Tulsa family so much. We all had some great times.
Yes. And you were on fire here. And if you can begin to just share with us how you even started your journey and how it's cultivated and just become a phenomenon.
Yes, sure. Wonderful, wonderful. So the journey started years back after losing my dear mother due to high blood pressure. She informed me that she had high blood pressure and she was diagnosed with it. And she said, I'm going to do it the natural way. And of course, we were all so happy about that, her taking control of it. And she didn't want to do any medication. And she told me in October. And then in December, that same year of 2009, she had a pain in her chest and she went to the doctor and it was too long of a wait. So she left and she passed away in her sleep. And that, Shari, would ignite something within me to begin the journey of transforming lives. I was at a corporate job. I was managing about 100 reps and managers at that time, but many people would consider a dream job, didn't have a boss, had a secretary. And I decided to resign from that position and start Stylish and Fit. And I decided to make sure that I saw people grow old and gray. So a lot of times when you begin to operate in purpose or you have this igniting in your spirit, God will give you the blueprint. So 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, I begin to awaken and begin to write out this blueprint, which was the Lifestyle of Vitality Challenge, to present to people to incorporate what I call my Fitness Focus 5, and then a nutrition program, speakers, and really help people understand that wellness is a lifetime. It's not for a special event, that we can really truly live a lifestyle of vitality. And so I mixed in fashion. I've always had a passion for fashion. At a young age, I had a fashion club in school. And then when I got to college, I would pick people all around the campus and then redo their wardrobe, give them a makeover. And people would be like, is that Henry? Look at that confidence. Is that Susie? It was one of those things where I understood too at an early age that how we wear our purpose and how we rock our purpose with our own signature style, which is nothing more than an expression of how we feel from the inside out. And that fashion was something that was also in the realm of wellness. So that's when I put both of them together, Stylish and Fit, and then began to birth more things as far as books and programs and events. And of course, the Lifestyle Vitality program, which is responsible for transforming many bodies around the globe. And I'm happy about that.
And so exciting because Lifestyle Vitality Challenge. And and I remember you were doing that here and then watching you. And as you said, and now it's going global. And so it's a mixture of women. Is that correct? Participants alignment primarily.
Yes, I've had men in it, of course, and I do have clients that are men now, but this particular one, even that I have right now that is virtual, it's women all over the globe. And a lot of the men, they do tell me, hey, can I join? Can I join? And so we definitely talk about that. But what I find is that women love to be accountable in the community together. They get up and have a scarf on their head and we care, because we work out 6 a.m. in the mornings on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. And it has really become such a close-knit community. And it's been pretty powerful with the women.
Tangi, what would you say would be one of the primary reasons that resonates with women and where they would want to become a part of the Vitality Challenge that really speaks to them to ignite that fire, to make a life shift, to do something different?
Many people participate in the challenge because they realize that they are in a point in their life where they don't feel comfortable in their skin. Their energy is low. They're not happy exactly with how they've been operating their life from a wellness perspective. And I give them hope and I tell them, hey, in your hands, you have the power to change the very health direction of your life. And I believe that a light bulb goes off. I used to interview people before each challenge because I could only take 45 people twice a year. And I began to interview people because I said, I really want people to be committed. I want to make sure that people are doing it for the right reasons. And when you understand your reason why, which many of the participants that come into the challenge, they do, they understand that their why is greater than them. They begin to see, oh my gosh, if I want to live and pursue this purpose, or if I want to be here for my children, for my husband, for me longevity, they understand that they've got to take care of this one temple that they've been given, which is their legal access in the earth. So I believe that there's a crossroad. Something happens between really the inner. And I always say the inner is the winner. And that is the first step towards transformation. I have a book coming out this year called Jigsaw, Revealing the Masterpiece of Transformation. And the first chapter in the book is truth and vulnerability, because you cannot help what you don't acknowledge, nor free the blockage. Let's see. So when people realize, wow, I've got a blockage here in my life, it's not causing me to move forward. And they have a hunger and a desire to change. And I also believe this too. Many people who come, they've already cried out to God, like, I don't know what to do. I gotta change. They feel in their spirit, I gotta change. It's because their energy is required for their next level. So once they make that commitment, I believe that God sends an opportunity. And a lot of times the Lifestyle Vitality Challenge is that opportunity.
Now, am I understanding you correctly to say that you only accept, you said, I believe 60 participants at a time, or now that you're virtual, are you able to accept more?
No, now I can have many, because it is virtual and I have women from all around the world. It still ends up having quite a good feel to it where I can still keep tabs and touches on everyone. But as far as that one particular number, it was because it was in person and it did require my time. I did have hired another trainer who was a part of the challenges with me to teach the program that I implemented. But now I'm happy to say that I could have more people.
That's awesome. Because I remember the vitality challenges, the transformation of what I call kind of the coming out. Do you still do that where you do the presenting after your participants have completed the challenge?
I do that now, and it has taken another form. So what it is now, it is a wellness production to tell the journey of wellness in a very creative way, utilizing the arts such as fashion, dance, and theater. And of course, the participants that have gone through the Lifestyle Vitality Challenge, as well as a Taste of Vitality. So a lot of things are still a lot the same. However, I've made it more of a production so it can go all around the world, even if there were not any participants involved. So I have produced a show that I feel makes wellness very inspiring. It makes it definitely hot and like just cool and vibrant. And it really brings a different tone to wellness because now I'm mixing fashion and theater and dance too as well. So I did one in Chicago the year before last, and many people have known it as the big reveal, right? They've known it as a big reveal, and I had a huge cast of people, and it was dynamic. Now I am changing the name. It's still going to be Reveal, but it's going to be Step Into the Rise. So I have that actually happening June the 7th of this year, and the women that have gone through the challenge, they're in the challenge now. So they are working towards the big reveal. Well, I'm changing it now. It's not just a big reveal. It is taking on a different name because it is much bigger than just the before and afters. However, that's a big part of this huge event. And that will be June the 7th. And now I'm actually able to allow people to get tickets virtually now as well, because we have a company that will be streaming the event, and it will now be able to be in the homes of people all over.
I've watched your transformations in the past, and they are absolutely awesome. And I've noted the excitement, the vitality that the women certainly showcase in when they're doing their big reveal. What would you say is the most gratifying, or that you've heard is the most gratifying thing for the participant?
Sure. What I realized, and the reason why I started saying actually the tagline so that people can rock their purpose with vitality, was because I realized that a common thread was that people were tapping in to their purpose further. They understood, hey, like I gotta take care of this body because it houses the very thing that I'm on this earth to do. And when that happens, then the discipline increases. I find that the joy about the whole challenge increases, because many people that come a part of it, even here recently, the ladies say, wow, I had no idea. This is bigger than anything that I could have self. And they're like, this should have been way more money than I'm paying. They all were telling me that, because when you realize that your purpose is priceless, and to have longevity to incubate that and house that is truly the blessing. And so many of the people that are a part of the challenge, they see it as a gift to themselves. But that clicks. I think that's the common thread, is it like people are inspired to take care of their bodies more than ever when they come a part of the challenge.
I love that, how you have transformed, and well, not just transformed, but how you have formed style and self-care and utilized it in a way that in fashion, it also impacts our mindset and self-worth. But what would you say are the most common mistakes we as women make that can be fixed with small mind shifts and helping us be more consistent?
Yes, absolutely. So definitely ensuring that people know that it's not a quick fix, but the mindset thing is letting go of limiting beliefs, because a lot of people have those things that they've pretty much told themselves, that it's going to take a long time. I'm too far past my goals. Like they look at their body, they're like, wow, how can I get there? I'm too busy in life because I have A, B, and C, family's going to college, whatever. And what I do is my best to obliterate those limiting beliefs, because you got to go to the root of it.
Right.
And to say, all right, okay, so you're saying, well, let me wait until the kids go to college. Well, I give the story of my mom. Said your health can't wait. And when you move now backwards is one. That means you're on the winning team between you and yourself. And why would you put your health on the back burner, right? Why would you do that? Because if you don't have you, you're not going to be able to be there for the family too as well. And then the other limiting belief could be, I'm too far gone. I always tell people, no one is too old to take care of their health and wellness, because in your hands, you have the power to change the very health direction of your life. And that's a powerful thing. I've seen people in their 70s, change. I have one lady who won the last Lifestyle Vitality Challenge, and her son was going through cancer. She was helping him, crying while being there doing her workout. And she understood that as a caregiver that she had to show up for herself. So her limiting belief could have been, hey, the mental block, I need to take care of my son. I got to be here for my son. I can't take care of my body. Right. And her son did eventually pass away. And she, like I said, was the winner of the challenge and was doing jump squats jump squats in her, well over 60, and showed everyone just what she was made of and made that as a tribute to her son. So letting go of limiting beliefs is huge.
That's absolutely phenomenal. And I asked that just because, and even just being honest personally for myself, there are certain things like I know I need to change certain habits, and I was asked from that standpoint, I love that you talk about pulling it from the root and understanding your whys to motivate you to stay, to see yourself differently, to accomplish your see your body differently. It's a more holistic movement and not just, you know, just, I guess, fragmented sometimes. We get so stuck in one area that we're wanting to change, but seeing it from a whole body, mind, and so, total, complete fit, fitness change and how we do and how it goes together. Really understanding that better. As you get older, those things start coming together where you're like, oh, okay, I've got to change my mindset on how I do things and making a real, I like that you talk about being very intentional and share with us when you talk about that. I know you've always been very good with your time and time management and purpose and walking in that. But what are some of the steps that do you take to maintain that, to be there, to put intention in place?
What I would say is being intentional with your time is, of course, important, right? Even I love in the book called Bible, it talks about having idle time and how we definitely want to look at how we maximize in our time. And I always will say that it's important to maximize every single moment and prioritize your time. And one of the most important transactions that you'll have during the day is not in the business room or the boardroom, but on the fitness floor between you and yourself, because you're going to manufacture more energy, which is going to help you maximize more of your time. And when people could understand that the way that you operate this body, what you eat every time you lift your fork, what is this food about to serve me? Because my energy is required for my next level. My energy is required for my day. And time is one of those things where everybody has the same amount, right? But really, everybody maximizes it differently. Everybody's moment is extremely different from the next, right? Everybody's moment is extremely different. So how do you remain purposeful? I often will say is that when you're intentional, you'll be dimensional in your life. You'll go to other stages of growth and, like you said, purpose too, as well, because people who have a high level of energy, they vibrate and attract different things to them as it relates to their purpose. And so there's more growth. Money is attracted to people who vibrate on a high level of energy. People are attracted to people who vibrate on a high level of energy. So what happens is you find that your life begins to elevate, and when you're more purposeful, you're more powerful, and you're more profitable.
I absolutely love that. And I know you've also published a cookbook. And so you teach the whole, vitality on what we eat, the physical, the mental fitness. You do the whole gambit. Tell us a little bit about your book and why, again, you touched a little bit on that, why it's so important to be really conscious what we put in our body and understand how they work together.
Yes. So I did do a cookbook, published it some years ago because I realized that I had a lot of clients that didn't really think that eating healthy was going to be fun or going to be something that they enjoyed. They thought that eating healthy was sort of like rabbit food. And I have understood a long time ago that there's a plethora of ingredients, of flavors, of herbs that you can make food taste incredibly amazing. And I have a mentor the incredible Karen Calabrese, who had one of the greatest vegan restaurants in Chicago that introduced amazing foods to me, like cheesecake made out of cashews and other things. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Then I began to also experiment on my own. And people would come over my home and they would be like, oh my gosh, these pancakes are amazing. I'm like, well, they're made out of garbanzo bean flour and I use bananas and cinnamon and almond milk and this and that. And they are just blown away. And I decided to produce a cookbook that I would say makes your taste buds dance in your body too. Is my little tagline for that. And really present recipes that people would really enjoy. And they came to realize, wow, food is actually like fun and amazing. It can make my taste buds dance. And then I wanted to show people what every recipe was serving them, because I'm like, when you eat food, you should ask yourself, what is this about to serve me? Right? What vitamins and nutrients and all of these things will be beneficial to me, because your plate often will say reflects your mandate, which is your purpose on this earth.
That is really, really amazing. And then I would have to say, Tangi, I was totally one where when you said the person that's like, that's rabbit food, I can't do it. That would have been, certainly I would have been standing in that line. But really, this last, right after the first year, we do the 21, day of fast. And this year I really did it. Went, completely, plant-based, and I'd never done that fully before. But out of that, it was so amazing what I did find out and what I really realized in my body, and eliminating those things that I thought I would never eliminate before. And I love that. Learning, I guess it's relearning, but to understand and really see why that is so important, and understanding where fitness and eating correctly, everything coincides and makes the body work effectively, and I wanted to ask you, is that how you came with the name Vitality? Because I know you talk about vitality a lot. And what I'm hearing from you, it's more than just the physical movement, that you have to utilize all of the components that you talk about.
Yes, absolutely. I would say that vitality came to me because I realized that it's just one of the incredible things that we need in life that allows us to express ourselves, whether it's our purpose, who we are energetically, and understood that food does affect the way that we present ourselves too. Like, food is energy. And it was a long time ago when I was running a race. It was for cross country, and I used to run track too as well. And I changed the way that I ate for that week, and I ran differently. I ran with more energy. And I came home to my parents and I said, hey, I'm not going to have any Burger King anymore, any French fries. I'm not going to eat here or there. I stopped cold turkey, all of those things at a very young age, probably 12 or 13. And I then understood young how food affects the body. And then as I would get older, I would study more and more and more about food and get certifications. And then, wow, I was like, man, food is vital. Food is vital, but also your vitality, your life force is fed too by food.
That I love that. I love that, because I love watching you, and the energy that you have is out of this world. And I'm like, how? How does she do? How does she have that? And it's like all the time, and it's consistent. It's all the time. So I am really taking in and noting everything that you're saying. But I do want to ask you, because you do have impeccable style, and you always had. And as you said, you've always loved fashion, and you've always utilized fashion in your overall being. How do you how would you say style is a form of self-care, and how does it impact the mindset and self-worth?
Yes, self-care is important for the entire embodiment of your life, really, because the number one person that we have to be able to care for first is ourselves. I was speaking on authenticity recently, and those who are authentic are very self-aware. They're very concise, and they also are very consistent with how they take care of themselves. The more they pour to themselves, the more they're in tune with who they are, more authentic they're able to be. And so I really understood too, a long time ago, that there is a correlation between authenticity and how we provide self-care. And when you understand that, you'll care for this body as such, and then you're able to pour into many lives because you have an overflow and you're looking for people that you can pour into. And I think that's where the energy that you see comes from, especially with me, is that I'm self-aware. That also causes me to really love people and want to see them more energized than ever. So authenticity breeds wanting to see people flow in the trueness of who they are as well.
Absolutely. And what would you say as a part of your legacy that you're building that you hope to leave? You touched on that a little bit and that you love to touch people, but what do you hope to leave through your work in fashion, fitness, and faith? Because I know faith is very, very important to you and a part of everything you do.
Yes, for me, the only thing we do for Christ will last. I always say that. My legacy is leaving this world as empty as possible, being all that God has called me to be, rejuvenating the lives of others, touching the lives of others, and serving humanity through my purpose while loving God. That's the first and foremost thing, seeing people glorify Him through what He does in my life, and seeing people come, to the knowledge and the truth of who He is, who Christ is. And so that is the legacy.
Well, and it's certainly a dynamic one. And before we close, Tangi, I know you've got, you talked about an event that you have coming, a big event coming up in June. Do you have anything before then, or how can people contact you if they're wanting to be a part of your challenge or wanting to get your cookbook and just follow you as a whole?
Sure. They can find me on Instagram at stylish, STYLISHANDFIT _ go ahead and send me a DM or contact me on my website, stylishandfit.com as well. And I would love to hear from you. And there is that event coming up. Still have an opportunity to do consultations or for people to join another wellness transformation that I have coming up.
Okay, so awesome. So do you do them more than once a year if someone were not able to participate in the one in June?
Yes, I have had more than one, more than one a year.
Awesome. Well, we certainly appreciate you so much. I thank you for taking the time out of, I know your very busy schedule to chat with us today and to share your story. I love, as I said, watching you and everything that you do. I feel like it's just always electrifying and so inspiring. And I know you will continue to keep uplifting and transforming lives. We will keep watching you and keep talking about you as well. I will include Tangi's contact information will be on our website, luxuryanblack.com. If you didn't get her information, you can find it. We will link you so you can be a part of the Vitality Challenge and just in transforming your life. It will definitely be worth it. Again, Tangi, thank you for your time, and I will be talking with you soon.
Hey, thank you so much. Pleasure to be here, and wonderful, wonderful work on this Luxury in Black podcast. I love it so much, and I'm sure it's going to continue to inspire so many people. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Tanjie. Happy Easter.
Thank you.